Hello everyone and welcome to Stonehearth. We will be working on the finishing touches of the castle today, but I did want to show you what I did a little bit in between episodes. I went ahead and put some farmlands outside the southern city gate here, and this is just empty farmlands. We're not going to grow anything out here. We're just going to leave it fallow and just basically have it as decorative pieces. We already have enough farmlands up over here on the right side. This is our proper food producing area, so I decided, you guys said that you wanted some decorative pieces out here, and I agree. It makes a little bit more sense and makes the transition a little bit nicer into the town itself. I also placed down some of the prefabricated buildings here just to fill in some gaps, finished laying down some stone fences, things like that in the back here, and expanded on the little slum type area with those small wooden huts. What we're going to do is basically speed build our way and finish up the castle up here. So without basically rambling on, we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into that. So today's speed build is a little bit shorter. It is a much simple section to do this episode. We aren't trying to work on different height levels. We're not trying to build up the mountain this time. We're not trying to do anything too fancy. We're just trying to establish a kind of fortified base here. And the fortified base, of course, needs to go all the way around the structure to keep the upper floors safe. And that's kind of just a standard theme in any castle keep-like structure. You're going to find the lower levels being very fortified and reinforced, and then the upper levels less so because they don't have to be as much. Now, of course, you kind of run into problems, say, if trebuchets and catapults were a thing, but in this game we don't have to necessarily worry about that, so we don't have to reinforce the upper floors pretty much at all. Just the lower floor here is going to be stone, and then the other two floors, because this section will have three, will be just a plaster wall. Pretty simple, kind of really highlighting the living space area. We're going to widen up the foundation as well, and this is also sitting up on a higher foundation, just like the little guard tower section before this area here. And there are some mistakes made when I was laying out these walls. I didn't lay down a floor level in between, which in hindsight is not very good practice. So, you guys have to make sure, don't make mistakes like I do. Go ahead and do that floor level. I put wall on top of wall here, and I didn't have that dividing gap to allow the doors to sit correctly on these hallways. Now, I don't know if that's going to affect the building in a negative way. I'm pretty sure the Hearthlings will probably be able to navigate it just fine. It's almost like a step down onto the next floor. So, if it works, then that's basically just cute little doors. They're just smaller looking doors than normal. So I'm okay with that. You can see this one sinking into the ground. And then I kind of panicked like, oh boy, is the whole building ruined now? And do I have to start over? Because all these walls are already laid out. And, as you know, we can't delete the walls once they're placed, really limiting factor on the building mechanics in this game, which is a bit of a shame. The upper floor, this is kind of the main residential floor, kind of where the king or queen would stay. So it's just two connected rooms, obviously probably more like a living space plus a bedroom up here. And it's going to have some fancier doors than just the wooden trim. We're going to use a blue door and a sandstone double door. So that's pretty cool and different. They'll also have a balcony, trying to introduce a new layer on the left side there and trying to keep the whole balance in a certain fashion. And, the castle is pretty much done at this point laying it out. So it all comes down to laying down floors. We're even going to have this small battlement going along the upper section and the lower section. And what that's going to do is provide a nice break and a spot to kind of rest your eye on the building, because obviously the plaster right on top of the stone looks a little funky, and doing this kind of battlement effect there just along that border is going to allow, one, for defensive features, so everyone can kind of walk around the edge, and then two, it's just a really nice little detail that you can add from time to time on castle builds to really make areas pop out and sink other areas back, and you can decorate the battlements in different adornments. And this one here actually has a little bit more of a diamond shape, and then the other ones are more square. And underneath of it, we'll put some wooden trim and make that look a little nicer. And then on the residential section, kind of overlooking the plaza down there, is more fortified kind of base around it. That way, it's not just sitting flush on top of there either. And that's just another, you got to break up your surfaces. You got to try and keep it varied as much as possible. At this point, we just decided to do a brown roof, a wooden roof here. And that's to try and keep the colors different, and then also make the living quarters a little bit more, I guess, warm and inviting of an area, rather than the rest of it where it's more colorful and showy. This one, I think, is supposed to be more down to earth and a little bit more of a welcoming vibe, essentially. And then from below, all those windows and things like that. It's just a nice color break from the usual that we've been doing. I did mess up the roof count a little bit here, so had to go back in and change that. And luckily, this whole structure is still in edit mode, so we can actually go in and edit a whole lot of other things during this time as well, like making sure the battlements are accessible and cutting out the access points for the ladders and things like that. After that, we'll add some chimneys, plenty of little chimneys up here, just for some decorative pieces. I kind of miss the timber and stone chimneys that we have in that game. It just makes that effect a little bit more unique. So we'll cover up that porch, and then we're pretty much done with this whole season of Stonehearth. So let's go ahead and kick it over to real time and see if these Hearthlings may be able to build this structure or not. Who knows? Alright everyone, I hope you enjoyed today's speed build of Stonehearth. What we're going to be doing in the meantime is I want to actually see if the Hearthlings will actually construct this structure. And also show you just how much room this thing takes compared to the rest of the town. And really the best way to show that is to quickly go and hide the blueprint and bring it back in. That way you can see pretty much what we've done over the past couple episodes and really fleshing out that hillside up there, and just how much it adds character to our town and things like that. So, thank you guys again for the input on getting this thing built, and also the input to even build a castle atop the hill. I was going to build something small and basically be done with the series at that point. So let's go ahead and save, for one thing. Saving, of course, will hopefully save me some headaches before we completely probably crash the game. This is such a huge and complicated structure, and in one go, I don't think these little guys have it in them to even attempt building this. So if I finish editing and hit build, let's see what happens. I'm trying to hit play right now since we're on pause, and the game's not liking it, to say the least. It's definitely not liking it at all. Oh my goodness. Oh, okay. Lag. Oh, it's planning the build. It's doing things. This is killing my computer a little bit. Really trying to sort this thing out. You can see the Hearthlings are just frozen in place at this stage. The amount of memory we're taking up just trying to do the building plan of this, and that's kind of the upgraded building feature of the game. So this is probably the greatest test of their current building AI. I don't think they're going to be able to do it at all. It's such a complicated and layered structure that anything that they try and do here, I think, will just end up in a fail. You can see the building planning thing is just slowly ticking away as the game just kind of works on getting that started. Maybe if I go normal speed, it might take some pressure off the Hearthlings moving around currently and focus a little bit more on the building planning. But It's basically like we have AOL broadband internet, and right now we're just trying to load Yahoo for the first time ever. Back in the day, you can just hear the modem kicking in now, connecting, and nothing. That's pretty much going nowhere. We might have to end up spawning this one in, though I really kind of wanted to see and leave the game running for a little while on possibly getting a speed build of the Hearthlings actually constructing this thing. I think that'd be really cool looking. The problem being that I don't know how many hours that would take. If it's gonna go at this rate, I don't have the time to leave my computer running. In that sense, I have other things to do, other builds to work on. So I think at this point, what we're going to do is we're just going to open up the command console and basically try and spawn this thing in. It actually looks like it's not even going to do that. Maybe at this point, just loading will be the better option. So you can tell the AI is not quite up there quite yet to do these amazing kind of structures. Unlike timber and stone, where timber and stone is a much simpler building system where you control the scaffolding and you just have to give them the correct path to get to the layer they're currently working on. And so it's just totally different. Let's see, we got some regulating hair bobs, confabulating childhood. Boy, the loading screen little tooltips are pretty funny. Bushing berries, good. That's a good sign. I am eating pizza, by the way, as kind of winding down the evening here after a long day of work. The Renaissance Festival, I will say, I do have some footage of that down in Texas, and I will be uploading just a little bit so you guys can see kind of just a Renaissance fair in motion. It's just going to be a few time lapses of people moving around. I took a lap around about a quarter of the park, which is still about 20 minutes of footage. And we'll probably show parades, some of the fireworks, some of the fire dancing, and just some bits and bobs here and there of the Renaissance fair. So I hope you guys enjoy that once I have that edited down, and have to do some voiceover on that as well. So let's go ahead and just cut to the chase. Alright, so the experiment obviously failed with getting the Hearthlings to construct this thing, so let's try and just spawn it in. See if the game can at least handle that task, because this is by itself going to be okay. Well, that was a lot easier than I expected. Reloading the save definitely increased the performance there, and yeah, no, this thing looks great, especially since it spawned in. It's not translucent anymore. You get to see the kind of final visual effect on the whole town there. And then with this final piece, the city is essentially done. At this point, there's pretty much nothing else to do here. We have just a little retaining wall here, a little bit of a field there, but all in all, I am pretty much done with this build here in Stonehearth. I hope you guys enjoyed the experience of this season. I hope to eventually start another season, but I think for now I want to take a break from this game. Let a few updates roll out and just let the game get even better and better. They update this on their dev blog weekly. And I hope to watch Stonehearth grow and become something that everyone can enjoy in the long-term future. So I will be uploading this so you guys can download the save if you have Stonehearth. You can also, from here, save any of the buildings you want, and just by clicking on it, and you'll be able to actually save them. Like if you want a copy of the inn, you just save it now that is fully complete. So thank you guys so much for watching as always. If you guys enjoy Stonehearth, feel free to leave a like so that I'm a little bit more encouraged to start another season. Go ahead and leave a comment down below on how well you think the town progressed. It was a long journey starting on the right fields and small village area, progressing through the city and really expanding and bringing this thing to life. So Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode.